evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Nights at 9 with Coach Glenda and Mr. Carpenter. Tonight, we have another exciting topic. Now, before I give you the topic for tonight, I want to say that Rufus and I have created this format as a safe place to discuss trials, struggles, and victories in past and present relationships. This is not a one-size-fits-all open discussion. There is no topic too minor or major that we cannot discuss. We encourage everyone to participate and speak their truth. This is a non-judgmental zone, so talk as much or as little as you would like. All right, Mr. Carpenter, I'm going to let you take it away to get us started.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Rufus Carpenter, but before I tell you a little bit about myself, let me tell you a little bit about Sunday Night at 9. Sunday Nights at 9 is a chance for us to get the community involved and actually community to help deal with relationships. Glenda has come on board and set this container up called Sunday Night at 9 to be your voice, to actually give you a chance to lend your voice to helping the people in the community. And we're building a sisterhood here that's outstanding. From some of the conversations I've had from some of the ladies that's been on this line, it's working and it's working well. The format and framework is pretty simple. You got 20 of your girlfriends in your living room at 9 o'clock tonight, and you guys you're comfortable, everybody's relaxed. Somebody got a couple glasses of wine and you're feeling really good. And what you want to talk about, you want to talk about the relationships. You want to talk about your relationships, some of the things you experience, some of the things that's still in your mind, some of the things that you haven't quite solved yourself. And then some of the things you did solve, because you don't know your sister girl right beside you might be going through the same thing. She just may be dressing it up a little good where you think she's doing well, but really in her four walls, she's suffering. So some of the things that you say can liberate her. And also when you say it, sometimes just hearing those words come out your mouth, and once you hear it and get it out, it gets the monkey off your back too. All right. So we're going to have fun with it tonight. Tonight, it's going to be an excellent topic. The topic is going to be light. It's going to be really light, easily lifting for everybody. So it's going to be fun. My name is Rufus Carpenter. Again, I come to this space a little different than most. My journey from this space started as a little child in a family of 14, a 3-bedroom house with 1 bathroom, having to share beds with 4 of my siblings, and 1 was occasional bedwetter. So I learned a thing about the human connection. But what I learned most right there was I had what's called a helper mentality. It was 14 in our family. It's like we never had enough. And one time, one weekend, I went out and I cut some grass, I chopped some wood, and then I actually picked up some soda bottles. And I made about $35. And I came home and gave my mom. She said, "Oh, Rufus," she kissed me on the forehead and she was so proud of me. And she told me how much she loved me. And she gave me like $1.35 of mine to spend. That started me right then. Right then, I realized I wanted to help. And that's where I got this helper mentality from. And I still have it today. Okay. But my story didn't stop there. I was married 27 years. And if you're married 27 years, you learn a thing about compromise. You learn a thing about trust. You learn a thing about what it takes to actually have that human relationship. And these are the things that you need for a successful marriage and relationship. So that story didn't stop there. I joined the United States Army. When I was in the Army, one of the jobs I had in the United States Army was human relation, race relation leader, where I had the responsibility to go into any unit in our organization that had relationship problems. I'd be the first person on the scene, and I would do what's called an intake form, where I actually go in and assess the situation and see what level of leadership we needed to solve, or what resources we had to throw at that problem to solve it. All right. Also tonight, I'm the male here tonight. This is basically a ladies forum, but sometimes you want to talk to a man. And that's why I'm here. I'm up here to uphold that end, and I will do a good job of holding the male perspective. All right, Glenda's back on your court, girl.
All right, male perspective. Okay. All right. Tonight's topic is embracing authentic communication, real talk in relationships. All right, so I'm gonna just give you a little brief synopsis of what our topic is gonna be about tonight. The role of authentic communication is establishing trust and intimacy in relationships. Authentic communication is vital for trust and intimacy. It means being open and honest and vulnerable. When people share their true thoughts and feelings, it builds a foundation of trust. This honesty helps partners feel safe and understood. Authenticity, authenticity removes barriers, allowing both to connect deeply. Misunderstandings reduce and empathy grows. Over time, this realness fosters lasting intimacy and a bond based on mutual respect. Now, Mr. Carpenter, do you want to piggyback on that before we dive into our scenarios tonight?
Yes, because what you said was a mouthful, and I'm glad you brought it out the way you brought it out because you kind of stacked the story up for the night for us. Because a lot of times here on Sunday Night at 9, we talk about unhealthy, toxic relationships. We talk about leaving. We talk about getting out. We talk about with children involved, and we have all those conversations of things that you have to really be on guard about. But the night we're doing something light, we're talking about relationships and we're talking about the ability to communicate, authentically communicate to your partner. You know, it's a great thing when you and your partner can come together as a team and can work through your issues and your problems. And sometimes you can nip it in the bud just by communicating. That open, honest communication and empathy in conversation is beautiful. Tonight, we're going to talk about some interesting topics. We're going to talk about what it takes to have truth nights. We're going to talk about establishing intimacy in a conversation. We're going to talk about active listening. And these things are vital. These things are vital because a lot of times we all want to be heard. We want to get our point across. We want to tell you what's on our mind. We're going to tell you about yourself. We're going to tell you, but this ain't that tonight. Tonight is your chance to listen to your partner. The chance is now the night you and your partner can honestly get together and build on what you have. Because all relationships need work. Even the best relationship would erode in time, because that's the way things is. It's called the ebb and flow of life. What goes up must come down. You got to take the good and the bad. In this world, you will have trouble. When trouble and diverse temptations and trouble come upon us, you have to have some type of mechanism to do it. And the first leg of that is open, honest communication. So, as this thing said, authentic communication is vital to trust and intimacy. Okay.
All right. Okay, so the first scenario for tonight that we're going to start off with is Mike realizes the need to express his feelings openly to avoid misunderstandings. Mike noticed his partner, Laura, seemed distant lately, I'm sorry. He sensed tension but wasn't sure why. After some reflection, he realized he'd been keeping his stress to himself, assuming she'd understand. One evening, he decided to talk openly with her. He shared his work pressures and how they'd been affecting his mood. Laura listened, relieved to finally understand what was going on. By expressing his feelings openly, Mike cleared up the tension and prevented misunderstandings. From that night on, he committed to sharing thoughts regularly, knowing it would keep their connection strong. So, with that being said, do anyone in the audience tonight have any feedback on Mike's scenario tonight?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
When you were talking, the word reflection stood out at me. And this morning, when I was having my devotion before I even knew about what tonight's conversation was about, um, it made me reflect on myself. Before we can have any conversation with anybody else, we need to have a conversation with ourselves. And it took me, and this didn't have nothing to do with what I was reading this morning, but it took me to First Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4-8. It talks about the love chapter, and a lot of times people relate that to just marriage, but it reflects all type of relationships.
Correct.
So with talking to myself, this is my way. This First Corinthians 13, verses 4-8 is my guideline now in my relationship. Love is. How is love related in my communication to my family, to my friends, to whoever I'm involved with? How am I expressing that love? So my communication now is what I'm studying and being reflective on is how I'm communicating love in all areas of my life.
Okay.
The thought I had, if it's my turn to speak.
It is.
Okay. Well, guess what? Laura, I believe her name was, she noticed something, and yes, she was a little distant. So that tells me too that she wasn't as open, because evidently she didn't feel like she could ask the question, do you see anything different, or does it seem to you like things are a little odd or off track? So to me, that says both of them noticed that something was out of whack or needed to be discussed. But the good thing about it is he finally wound up, telling her what the issue was. It's almost like walking on eggshells sometimes. You don't want to say anything, and not that you will always think that somebody know what it is, but you don't want them to see the weakness. You don't want them to think that you need, or like you're a needy person, so you keep a lot of things to yourself. But when you've already got that bridge where you can feel like you can be open and honest, you don't have to wait until it get to that part, or to that stage. You can say it when it first happens without feeling that somebody's judging you, or they don't want to be around you at all because you can't deal with them. It's not that you don't want to deal with them. You want to know what it is. Is it something that you did, or something that you can do something about?
Exactly.
But isn't this so much like us? If you, with this scenario she given, isn't this so much like us? Even if you're not even if it's not even a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife situation, it could be friends. It's so much like us. Sometimes instead of saying what's on our heart or what's on our mind, because we think a conflict gonna happen. Because if I tell you I don't like this about you, or I'm telling you this is an issue, it'd probably be a conflict. So a lot of times we don't say it because we're thinking about what the other person gonna feel and how they're gonna take it. When really we should be realizing that's our partner. If that's our friend, that's our mate, or whatever it is, we have an obligation to them as well as to ourselves to make their life better, make our relationship better. And we do this right here is just a typical situation, because the pressure that Mike is having on his job is tremendous, and Mike, he's doing what he can. He feels like, man, I got to take it because I don't want to lose my income, because I want to help my family. I want to provide for our future. So he could be having a tremendous burden going through that, but he go through it anyway because of that. But he just don't know how to deal with it. So if he come home and he can't tell his spouse or significant other and can't get support from it, instead he's keeping it in himself, he's not being fair to himself or his mate.
Correct.
Because I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure you've even done this. Because sometimes they say you're quiet, you don't speak, when really there's so much going on in your head and in your mind. This is a chance to get it out. Anyone else know any more scenarios, or anyone that actually been in this, or anyone that actually had this or been a part of this where they wish the person would have came out and told what was on their mind because they could have helped them?
That's where it's good for couples to kind of communicate, even in prayer. maybe we can pray before we go out today. This is kind of been, you can cover some of these things as, maybe he lead the prayer one time and talk what's on his heart, or you taking it to the Father, because, a threefold cord is difficult to be broken. And with God in the middle, it definitely makes things better. So
Amen.
again, communicating, even at prayer, take the time to pray before you go, to work. And then with just opening up and doing that, you may talk about maybe what's really bothering you on the job, and, in prayer, so that the spouse, be it female or male, or in this case, the male, could would have a better day. And then she could continue to intercede on his behalf throughout the day as he's encountering his work atmosphere.
Awesome. Because it's good when you and your partner can already have mechanisms in place to help better the relationship. Because the relationship's going well now, you don't know when you're going to run into a bump in the road or a fork in the road. And if you've already got those things in place, and like Angela said, one is prayer. The other is just open, honest conversation. Just open your heart up. Have a night that we check in with each other. Hey, we check in at night. How's our relationship going? Anything that we needed to talk about. That I gave it. We gave a technique about 3 or 4 Sundays ago. Start, stop, and continue. That exercise is a great exercise. Because that's so much you can do as a couple to make sure that your relationship continue to roll. And this is fun. Sometimes when when our partner will get together, when you can talk about some of your shortcomings and some of the things I can help you with and you can help me with, it strengthens the bond. It really makes you feel good when you've got a partner that's really concerned about your needs and want to support you. That is no greater feeling. Because if the guys beat me up outside, or my managers or my employees are worrying me to death, and the economy is going bad, and this is happening, that's happening, this is happening. If I can make it home, my partner is gonna make sure she's gonna have the band-aids, and she got a Neosporin. She gonna have the duct tape, whatever it takes, she's gonna have it. It makes all the difference in the world. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It makes all the difference. If I can just get home. I know Angela said if I can just make it to church. That's too. But sometimes you got to get home first. All right, go ahead.
At church, because we are the church.
All right. See, that's even better. That's right. That's right.
Right.
That's even better. You're right, because I'm sure every home has an altar or something set up in each home. I'm sure you got something in your home, or a special spot, or a special closet, or a special table, or whatever it is that you can get together and you can pray, or whatever you do. You got that special place. Meet me in the living room, or meet me in the bed, or whatever it is. You got a special place that you guys can come and y'all can fellowship together and work through whatever issues you have as a couple. It's a beautiful thing when two people can work together with an open, pure heart. Man, that's lovely. That is awesome. I'm sorry, Glenda. Go ahead. I take it up. I get happy with this kind of stuff. Go ahead, Glenda.
Well, I already know who I'm talking with tonight, because see, I think someone used to call you, who was it, Sonny J? She said, Mr. Marshmallow.
Hey. Hey, we're not gonna let our laundry out in public now.
All right.
Some things we keep under the cover. We don't bring everything on.
I heard it.
Okay, but Mr. Carpenter, some crossed my mind as I was listening to everyone talk tonight. In some scenarios similar to this, men, they shut down. They're not really forthcoming. And then, I know that when I was married, my husband, he believed in God, but he didn't go to church on a regular basis like I did. So me trying to get him to pray when we hit bumps in the road or came across a hurdle, it was like, man, I don't got time for all that. Yeah, whatever. I need results right now. I need something to have, give way right now. So in your personal opinion, I mean, everything that you guys have said tonight has been very helpful and it has been true. But some cases it don't always work that way. You both, because honestly, both parties have to have a willing mind for it to play out like that.
I agree and disagree. But first, let's let the audience talk first before I jump in there, because I can steal the whole conversation, and that's not what I need to be doing right now. But audience, help us out, audience. Answer her question.
Even if he don't want to pray together, you can just let him know. Well, okay, well, I'm going to be praying. I'm constantly praying, interceding on our behalf anyway. So, whether he want to stop and pause and do it with you, because I'm sure in the process of that, he would be comforted as God would lead you in the prayer. But if not, just let him know, well, one thing you can't stop me from doing, and that's praying for you and loving you.
Right.
And my thought along that same line, I guess that's where that unevenly yoked come in. They not if we're not on the same page. But you know what? I find you don't even have to tell them that you're praying for them. You just pray. You just do it anyway. Especially if you know them and you know they're not on the same level where you are, or not as spiritual. I won't say not that they don't have a relationship with God. I won't go to that extreme. But we can be praying for them without them even knowing, and pray that they change to have that desire and feel like, well, guess what? It'd be better if both of us went to God. But if it's not, or they're not there, you just send up that prayer for them. Stand in the gap for them.
Right. Amen.
Mr. Carpenter, you wanna put some finishing touches on
You
it?
sure? And nobody else first? Anybody else want to talk first before Andre got anything to text? Andre ain't text nothing not in the text.
No, he quiet tonight.
Andre quiet tonight. Okay. Then well, Glenda said that it takes two, and it takes two. And I found out that a lot of times it does take two. However, one can carry the weight until the other wakes up. One can carry the weight till the other wakes up. It's not a new thing, but now people are beginning to counsel only one. They've got relationship coaches and counseling therapists only talk to one. They don't talk to the group. They don't talk to the pair. They only take the one at a time. And the reason why they say that's the case, because there's a lot of times when you do two together, it becomes pissing match. They say that too, it becomes a lot of drama. It becomes a lot of blaming and backbiting, and everybody want to be heard and everybody want to be right. But when one person has to reach across the aisle or reach across a relationship and bring the other one along. In a conversation, matter of fact, we're gonna do some role playing in a little bit, and we might want to hold that to the role playing part. I'll take the role playing part, Glenda. When it comes to that part, I'll take that.
Be my guest.
Huh?
I said, be my guest.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna do it right now. But we'll go through some of this. We can go through some actual role playing, and that's what I like about this type of form where we can do that. Because here we don't have any set rules. The rules are we're gonna be respectful. We're not gonna do a bunch of cussing and raising hell. and we're gonna make sure that we keep it kind of family-like. We all grown folk. Some of us might have a cup of wine or strong tea or whatever you got to drink. So everybody should be feeling relaxed and mellow. The kids are in the bed, and it's after hours, so we're gonna have some fun with this. But a little later in this conversation, we're gonna do some role play, and I'll take it when it comes to that time, Glenda. So go to the next scenario, Glenda, because I don't want to take all the time.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
When it comes to counseling, you can counsel one person at a time in a relationship. You counsel one person at a time, and then you bring both of them together to counsel, and to see where each one of them stands in that relationship. But it first start with counseling one person at a time.
and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what I was trying to say it that way, because sometimes people go into a situation with a pre-made up mind. They know they want out. They know they want out. No matter, they want out, and they're gonna make it a mess for everybody until they get out. And that's when she says like that. When you do them one at a time, you can find out what a person's true intentions are, because an experienced counselor or coach can actually pick up on that real quick. And that's where that sincerity, and that's where the open and honest communication and empathy and all those things come out. And this is what we're working on tonight. We're working on this, but we're working it from a good point that everybody want to use these techniques and these tools tonight to make your relationship better. We're talking about you got a good relationship. We just want to make it better and make sure it keeps rolling the right way. Go ahead, Glenda.
Okay, so the next scenario we have tonight. Lisa practices active listening with her partner to improve their communication. Lisa noticed that her partner, Tom, often felt unheard in their conversations. Determined to improve, she decided to practice active listening. One evening, Tom started talking about his challenges at work. Instead of interrupting or offering advice, Lisa maintained her eye contact, nodded, and gave him full attention. She asked clarifying questions and repeated back some of his points to show she understood. Tom felt truly listened to and appreciated her efforts. This shift made their conversations feel more meaningful, and Tom opened up more. Lisa realized active listening had brought them closer, deepening their trust. So, participants, do you have any comments on that scenario?
Bravo.
Were you saying something, Angela?
No, I said bravo. That's the direction you want to go.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And this is when that one person again, that one person can make all the difference in relationship. How Lisa, she made sure she let Tom know that she is sincere. She listened to him. She watched him, and she really kind of led him through that. So it makes all the difference in the world. That one person, one time, because you in a relationship, sometimes you the high, sometimes you carry the relationship, sometimes you the low. It's vice versa. And that's why your partnership together, because when one can't carry the load, the other gets to carry the load. You know, that record, lean on me, you might have a problem. That happens in relationships every day. You know, the world will beat us up. And we have to get to that boo, our loved one. We had to get to somebody that can help and patch us up and get us back out there and help us to. And that's what this is all about. This is awesome stuff. Because we all have challenges in the world. You know, so when you get there, that makes all the difference in the world. Anybody else want to comment on that before we get into some activities here? I don't mean to take it from you, Glenda, but let's do some activities, and then I'll give it back to you. Okay, we're gonna try some activities, and I need your help, audience. You're gonna have to help me with this, and we're gonna try some activities, and we're gonna pick two people. We're gonna pick two people, two volunteers. And I tell you what, let me and Glenda, let's demonstrate so they'll know what we're talking about. Let's make it easy. On where it says group activity, we're gonna do that. And at first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna participate in active listening. Active listening. Glenda and I are gonna pair up, and I'm gonna say something to Glenda, and she's gonna tell me back what I said, and she's gonna paraphrase it, so that way let me know she understands what I'm saying. And she don't know what I'm gonna say, and like when somebody talk to you, you're not gonna know what they're gonna say, but she's gonna paraphrase. And we didn't practice this. This is her first time hearing it too, so that's why she look all crazy. She don't know what I'm going to do. So it's the same way for you. I'm gonna tell her scenario, and she's my boo. She's my special someone, and she's my special someone in the program. Hey, She's a co-host. And she's gonna listen to what I'm gonna say, and she's gonna actively listen, and she's gonna paraphrase it back to let me know that she understands what I'm saying. All right? And what I'm gonna say, I ain't even thought about what I'm gonna say yet neither. So ready? Ready? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna ready. Here's what it is, and I'm gonna be A, and she's gonna be B. So A is gonna tell it, and B is gonna paraphrase it back. Okay, Glenda, dear. You know, today it was a hard day for me. I realized that I've been working this job all this time. I've been working this job now for 15 years, Glenda. And I found out that the first time I don't like it at all. I'm miserable. When my boss walked by me, and I know a lot more than my boss know about the job, and them some dummies. And Glenda, I don't know if I can go back tomorrow. I'm serious. I had enough. You know, and that's, baby, that's why I want you to say, help me out. What can you tell me?
Okay. All right. So what I heard was you don't like your job because you feel as if you know more than your leadership, and you really don't want to go back. And you need me to tell you or give you some advice on what to do next.
Yes, you got it. Now, what's the advice you can give me? But you don't have to get advice. I'm sorry. You got to give me no advice. No, I know what you'll tell me. Carry your butt back to work. but
Right.
Okay, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try one of those. Any volunteers? Because we don't want to call on anybody. Who want to be A? Who want to be the one to actually get a scenario?
Like to participate. Doesn't matter which one, but I'd like to.
So we need one other person, the A or B. Who else want to be the A or B?
Sharon said me.
Okay, Sharon. Okay, so Sharon, you're gonna be the A. You're gonna tell Mildred something. Mildred, you're gonna be the B. And once Sharon tells you, you're gonna paraphrase it back to her. Let her know that you actually heard what she told you.
Okay.
All right, Sharon, you ready? Come off unmute. Unmute, Sharon. Sharon. Sharon, are you there? Is Sharon there? I thought Sharon was there.
She's there.
She's there.
Tell her unmute. Text her, tell her unmute. Because I don't hear her.
I don't have her number.
Huh?
I don't have her number.
Am I off of mute now?
Yes.
Okay, you're off of mute.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I broke my phone. I can't even see the screen. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'm A, and I'm gonna tell Mildred something.
And then Mildred gonna paraphrase it back, let you know that she understood what you were telling her. She understood your feelings and emotions.
Okay, Mildred, I feel like the reason I get so angry with you and stuff is because when I'm trying to express how I feel about something, you never stick to the issue at hand. You come back at me as if I did something to you or you're the victim. That's not what I'm saying when I keep nagging you about the same thing. I just want you to understand how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Mildred? Okay. Sharon, did I understand you to say whenever you have something that you want to talk to me about or complain to me about, I turn around and act like I'm the victim, I'm the one, or don't stick to the subject, I'm changing the subject instead of really listening? Yes, I am so sorry if I've given you that impression, but can we try it again? I'll promise I'll do better, I'll listen, or maybe you didn't make the issue plain and clear to me, but I'm so sorry I took things the wrong way.
All right, Mildred, you good, Mildred, you good, but you stopped. You could have, once you told her what you said, you were good there. And you were great, but when you went back, then when you went back, you put the blame on her again. Towards the end, you started blaming her again.
Can I counteract? So she could.
No, ain't no counteract. We be all no. But we can move on. But Linda, you put the blame on her again when you started towards the end.
Huh?
Yeah, you went back to what you said.
Y'all told her maybe she wasn't being clear, huh?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's get one more on this scenario because we got to go. We got 2 more things to do. So one more set of volunteers for this same scenario. Any volunteers? Can we get a volunteer?
I'll do it.
Who is I?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon.
Oh no, that's okay. If nobody gonna volunteer, I'll do
No,
it.
we need one more person. Need one more person. Who
Oh.
want to volunteer?
Well, we can try it again. Maybe this
No,
time it'll be
no,
different.
no, no. Yeah, you didn't have your bite of the
And
apple,
that,
Mildred.
and that.
You didn't have your bite of the apple, Mildred. No, you get one bite, Mildred.
I'll
Okay.
volunteer.
Okay, who going with her? Who going with her?
I miss
Andre, you
Who?
volunteered, Andre?
Yeah, I need a man. That'd be great.
You
I don't
volunteered,
mind.
Andre?
I don't
Okay, but I
mind.
want to be B.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you'll be
mind.
B. So Andre, you gotta give the scenario to her, and she gotta paraphrase it that she understood what you said. And guys, we're paraphrasing.
Oh,
We're not saying everything she said. We're paraphrasing.
okay.
I
You know
believe-
what? I was volunteering to give the case scenario, so let somebody else do it.
Okay. I thought it was Sharon. This is not Sharon. This is
I want to
this
be
is
B. This is me.
wait, stop. Time out. Too much stuff going on. This is Ramona, right?
That's
Correct. I thought you were looking for a volunteer to give a case scenario, so I volunteered
Okay,
prematurely.
you giving the case scenario. Andre, will you receive it?
Is it, if I'm understanding you right, this is the same one you did initially, correct?
Correct. And
Okay,
she's gonna
yes,
give you
yes.
a scenario. You're gonna paraphrase it back to her. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you guys got it. Ramona, you A, and Andre, you B. Ready whenever you are, Ramona.
Okay. All right, darling. I have some news for you. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but I do know that since we were planning to get married in 2 years, we've been focusing on that and strengthening our relationship. And you know how important you are, and also my career is. I got an offer today to move to Japan. And I know that it's very important for you to be here in the United States, because your mom is ill and you want to be close by her. But I'm also looking for career advancement and to move our relationship onto the next level. So we need to sit down and talk about, what we're going to do next.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
So,
laughing, which ain't laughing at you. Go ahead.
okay,
I'm sorry.
that's my partner.
so you gave me a tough one there, so I'm trying to process without reacting. So if I hear you right, you did indicate that I mean something to you. You do understand that my mother is ill, and you're letting me know that you want to climb the corporate ladder and follow your dreams as your career in another country, and you want me to talk with you about where our relationship was going with my sick mother.
And my career and our engagement.
See, you gave me a tough one, and I was trying to figure out how do I'm not supposed to be responding. I'm
No,
just
all you gotta do is paraphrase it back, let her know that you understood what she was asking you.
Okay, so that's tough.
You were doing it. You did
You
it.
did it. You already did it.
You were doing it. You just
paraphrased.
missed that one piece.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Okay.
Did Ramona, did he give you almost everything you gave him?
Yes.
Yeah, so great job there. Great job. That's excellent. Hey, great job. You're a hero.
Great
Both of y'all.
listening skills.
That's
But
awesome.
I'm curious to know what would have been the good response to that.
Let's ask Ramona. What would have been a good response, Ramona?
Well, I need a response first. I have something to judge.
So the reason that I asked
right,
was
Andre, give
because
the response.
okay, so because I know I mean a lot to you, and because I know we are getting engaged through sickness and in health, till future to death do us part, and because my mother is ill and I know how much my mother and I mean to you, and I understand that you are willing to sacrifice your career for this time being, I'm going to marry you in the future. I'm going to marry you because I know that you are sticking with me and my mother in the US and sacrificing your career.
What's your take on that answer, Ramona? You still with us?
Well, it was supposed to be a discussion, and he just made up my mind for me.
Okay, so you're gonna
Can I
drop
say
him like a
something?
hot potato, huh?
Yeah.
No, there's
We
time
were
to
supposed to be
communicate.
discussing it, and he just told me what he was gonna do.
That's what men do. That's what we handle it.
Can I
Right,
say
which means
Good.
he'll be in the United States and I'll be in Japan.
something?
Absolutely.
Yep. And you
No,
know
you
what?
don't take
Oh, with my
control
sick
Can
like
I
that.
mother.
respond? Can I
Wait.
respond?
One at a time, guys. One at a time. One at a time. Who wants to go first?
Me?
All right.
Oh,
Who's
sorry.
me? Who's me?
Sharon.
All right. Go ahead, Sharon.
Sharon.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, I understood what she was saying, but what I would have looked at it, how I felt about it, I would have said, okay, I understand that you want a career in your career just as important as my career. So if you want to try that, let's maybe try it for a while and see how it works. Will it work out? Because I appreciate you telling me how you feel. I appreciate you understanding my job importance to me. So I'm willing to let's try it for a while and see how it work out. If it don't work out, then we have to think about something else. But I'm not gonna say I'm angry about you going, or not gonna be selfish to deny you. So
I
I don't
like
know.
that. Yeah, I
That's
like
what I
that
would
answer.
say.
Okay.
That's what I
Who else wanted to weigh in on that? Was someone else that was in the fray? Who else is there?
Right. Well,
Angela, go ahead.
you get one mother and you don't get a do-over with that. So I would say um, and I do understand that you want to move up the corporate ladder and it's gonna require you being in another country. So I'm willing to still stay in the relationship if you are open, but right now I need to be here and with my mom until she cross over. Because you don't
Okay.
get sometimes you never get a do-over. So I don't want to hinder you, and I do love you. So if the distance will cause our love to grow fonder.
Okay. Was that acceptable answer, Ramona?
It's acceptable if that's
If
what's
it's
on
what
the person's mind. I believe probably in a situation like that, and both for great answers, is that we would have put case scenarios on the table because again, the person's just telling me what they're going to do. There was no, okay, well, let's come up with some different case scenarios. For instance, if I'm moving up the corporate ladder and it's just about your mom being with me, maybe we could take your mom with us and get some medical care over there. You see what I'm saying? It was like
Yeah.
nothing. It
Yeah.
was just too many assumptions that I'm just gonna run off and leave you and your mom. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's why I said we need to talk about it.
And that happens in relationship in real life. In your relationship, that's what happens. Instead of talking through it, everybody trying to get to solution. And that's what this is all about. This is about active listening, because the next scenario, next thing we're supposed to do is active listening, where we're supposed to actually say the person A actually give the person B something, and the person B has to listen and give an answer and respond. And that's what we're supposed to do. And we find out when we do that, a lot of people, instead of discussing, they want to go straight to the solution. In spite of bringing the other person into it and see it there are different ways. So let's do a couple of this one right here. It's just like what just happened. The only thing is now you're not going to paraphrase back. You're going to listen and you're going to give a response. And you're gonna actually listen, and you have an empathetic ear, and you can listen to actually learn what the person's saying, and you're gonna listen and you're gonna try to not only hear what they say, but you're gonna try to read their emotions too. So let's try that. Who wants to be A? Any volunteers to be A? Any volunteers to be A? Going once. All right. You smiling, Dr. Johnson? You're smiling. That's the cue.
I'm frowning now.
Okay. You want to be A or B? Which one you want to be, Dr. Johnson?
I'll be B.
Okay. Now look A. Anybody want to be A for Dr. Johnson? Going once. Any A's?
I'll do it if nobody wants to.
Who is that? Who is I?
Me, Sharon.
Okay, Sharon. Okay. All right, then you're gonna be A, Sharon. You're gonna now. This is different. Well, this is the same thing we just did, But now you're going to, instead of paraphrasing, you're going to actually participate. You're going to actually respond empathetically. You're going to empathetically mean you're going to respond. You're going to respond, letting them know you understand, and you want to kind of like work with them a little bit on it. Okay, let's try it.
Wait a minute. Okay.
So I'm gonna read. Here's what it is: active listening exercise. Participants practice listening and responding empathetically. So you're gonna listen and you're gonna respond empathetically. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now who's A in this? Who's A? Sharon, you A, right? Sharon, you're A, and Linda, you're B. When you Dr. Johnson, I'm sorry.
So now, am I supposed to come up with a situation?
You're supposed to come up with a situation.
Let me see. Whew, okay, I'm thinking. Okay. Whenever I ask you to do something, who is? Oh, Linda. Linda, whenever I ask you to do something for me or tell you how I feel when I expected something to you to do something just to do it to help out, you always come back with what you did for me or bring up something in the past to justify why you didn't do or why you didn't feel the way I felt like you should have felt by what you say. Your words don't match your actions.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That makes sense. Go ahead. It makes sense. Go ahead, Dr. Johnson.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I apologize. And I ask for your forgiveness. And maybe at the time, my mind was focused on other things and not really focusing on what you was asking me and how I responded. So sometimes when you ask me to do something, my mind have been so busy on what I have been through during the day or at other times, but I would try to do my best to just stop and listen to clearly understand what you're asking me to do and when you want me to do it.
Okay. How was that? Any comments on that?
Yeah, I want her to tell you how.
What'd you say, Sharon?
Yeah, I like the answer, but what I was really looking for, if there was a real situation with a mate, I would be looking for that mate to tell me how that wasn't their intentions to make me feel like that they didn't care or whatever. I was looking for something like, oh, okay, well, I didn't realize you feel that way, or or whatever. I would want them to show some empathy on that. My feelings, how I feel.
Okay.
It should happen.
Okay, and this is good because we're doing it off the cuff here. So now we can see the good and the bad answer. So that's good because none of us was prepared for this. So this is awesome. So you guys doing a good job. Now let's move into the next one. The next one.
Wait. Good evening. This is Annette. Could I say something there?
Yes, you can. Go ahead, Annette.
In the scenarios that just played out, and let's just say this is real life, and your partner or someone is trying to communicate something to you, is it possible sometimes when they're trying to talk to you or whatever, you just don't want to hear it? You just don't want to take part in it?
Yep, and that's what the next thing. That's what next thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about communication reflections. Reflections when you just don't want to hear about it. How do you shut it down? How do you not hear about it? And this right here is this is not so much scenarios. This is going to get you to explain your style. If you notice some weaknesses in your communication and reflect, and it says you just don't want to hear about it. And what it is, a lot of people hold back to avoid conflict. When you say something like Sharon said like that, they'll just hold back. They'll just pull back. They say, okay, no problem. It's cool. Because they don't want to have a conflict. They know if they say what's really on their mind, they're going to have a conflict. What Sharon said, if I said what was on my mind, Sharon might say, well, hold up now. And then you got to do a conflict. And a lot of people they run away from a conflict. They're not confrontational. Where it may or may not cause a conflict, but their fear of conflict, they hold back. They pull back. They don't say the true feelings. And that's one way, that's one style of communication. That's a personal style. They avoid conflict. The next one is what some people do. And you think about yourself as I talk through these. The next one to do, when you're talking, trying to explain, the person cuts you off. They interrupt and cut you off before you get there. Stop, Glenn, I know you're saying that's me, but we'll leave that alone. They cut you off before you can get it out. I know what you're going to say. I already know. Okay, no problem. I got you. They cut you off before you can actually get your words out. And that's another style. And then another time a person come up with you when you tell them, like Ramona said, she wanted someone to talk with her and talk it out. But instead, your style might be, girl, you told me, here's the solution. You ain't going. You gonna stay at the same job you got, and we gonna be happy right here in America. You ain't going to Japan. I ain't learning how to talk no Japanese. Period. You stay at home.
All right, Trump.
And see, yep. And see, that's your communication style. Do you notice any weakness in yourself? Or you notice any weakness in someone you dated or loved or married or whatever? What's weakness? My weakness is I will jump in before you finish talking. I know I will interrupt. That's my style, and that's a style I got to work on. And I'm trying to work on that. So that's my communication style I got to work on. Anybody else got anything they need to work on or anything they notice?
Could it also
one at a time? Who wants to be first? Go ahead. Who wants to be first?
I'll just when I'm in a situation like that, yeah, me.
Okay,
when I'm in a situation like that, and they try to like overtalk me or try to tell me what I was gonna say,
overtalking,
or tell me what I was gonna say, that makes me feel like it's not even about me no more, because it's still going back to them, because they're gonna go back to what they think I'm gonna say, or the reason why they did what they did. You know, it's because I know what you're gonna say. You always say that, but they always be the victim. They always think that they're the victim.
And that's their way of reflection. They reflect. They reflect. That's their personal style of getting you off of it, or getting out of conversation, or just not wanting to deal with the situation right then. That's a reflection style. They need to work on that.
They're not looking at it like they wrong. They could be wrong. Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's one. So far we got two. We got mine. I interrupt. And the other one is they overtalk and reflect it off. Okay, give me some more. Who else got some more?
I just wanted to share and just say that what I'm just from, these case scenarios, excuse me, what I'm hearing even from myself is that when we are the one who is initiating the conversation and we sharing that, with our partner, that we already have formed in our mind what type of response is going to be satisfying to us, not necessarily the solution, but how we want that person to respond. Because when you ask me, when you ask the other young lady, was the answer sufficient? We gave you a different way that we thought that it should be done. So that's very interesting that we ask a question like it's open, but if the answer don't come back the way that is in our mind, then we're disappointed. So I just find that kind of interesting that happened in both, situations.
And a lot of times that's why older couples, they get along so well, because they've gotten to the point where they are in each other's heads. They almost can figure out the story that's going on in their head before they even ask. Like they can say, well, hey, it's time to cut the light down or turn the heat up. When they give it that look, it's time to turn the heat up. It's that what's going on. The stories are going on in their head. In advertising, that's what they say. You need to be inside the stories that's in your customer's head or your client head. That's how you get ahead of them. They call top of the mind awareness. And it's a marketing, a business term, but this is where it came from. It came from human behavior. Is where it came from. And you'll be surprised the stories that you have in your head about certain situations and certain things. And if you notice your partner, notice who you with, and you spend any great time with them, you'll begin to notice the stories they have in their head. Sounds kind of strange, but you'll start noticing. And that's what Ramona just fired that little short, observing just what, and we're not in a relationship, but she see it just that fast. Just think, if you really love someone and they come home to you every night, you really can get in their head. You really can make a difference in their life.
Mr. Carpenter, I
Yes,
hate to
ma'am.
interrupt. Got 5 minutes before.
Okay, I'm sorry. I get carried away. This is something I love talking about this. So that's enough of that. Any questions about what we just did, the scenarios that we just went through and just little activities? Any questions about that?
What kind of came to my mind a little bit when you start giving the scenarios and so forth, I thought about live peaceably, whenever possible, live peaceably with all men.
Yes.
But, anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, good. All right. Anybody else got to say anything before we start wrapping this up and taking it home? Okay, if you're new here and you haven't been here before, leave your email so that way we can make sure we email you, because we're starting an email list of everybody in our community, and we just begin that list. So if you're not on that list, please give us your email. Okay, you and me wrap it up, Glenda, or you want to give the key take home notes? So you and me give it.
You can go ahead and do the keynotes. I did want to mention about the cruise. I did want to comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
I was told today by the travel agent, Felicia Johnson, that the next deposit that is due towards the cruise, it was $250. However, Carnival has a promotion going on where you pay $125 per person versus the $250 per person.
You had to pay it.
And to go ahead and secure your cabin. And then also the gratuity will be added towards your balance.
And I think they're saying when you do that, you can actually pick your cabin. You actually pick your cabin. You know exactly what cabin you're going to be in already.
Right.
Okay.
Right. At that time. Yes, sir.
So that's good. That's unique. All right. Now, wrapping it on up, Andre had something. He said something. Do we need to talk that out or not?
No,
Well, I guess go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I just had a quick question. So when you say it's $125, does that mean we pay a larger amount later? Or is that saying that now the cabins are cheaper? I guess I'm trying to, in my mind, see what that means.
No, because per the flyer, it said by April 15th, don't quote me on that, but I know it's April 2025. The next deposit was $250, but Carnival has a promotion now where versus that $250 per person, for your next deposit is $125 per person. So you don't have to have the $250 per person in April 2025.
Gotcha. I got you now.
Was someone else saying something?
Yeah, me and Felicia talked about it today. Felicia talked about it today. My thing was, okay, when they said that it's securing your cabin or whatever, but I was under the impression if you didn't pay it right then you might get a bad cabin.
You're right. You're exactly right. If you don't, it's better. When we initially started, we should have gave you the option to go ahead and pay your $250 up front so you can go ahead and secure your cabin, because to my knowledge, tonight when I spoke to the travel agent, she said all the middle rooms are gone. So all that's left on the boat, because it's filling up real fast, is the front and the back end.
Yeah, but
guys, let me give you a news flash. You can pay the whole price right now if you want to. You can pay it how you want to pay it. If you want to.
No, I'm just saying what I was confused about. What I was confused about was when we put our deposit down and secured our cabin, I thought that she had said something like she already had booked so many cabins and so they, in a certain way or whatever.
Yes, she did. She did. But here's the deal. She booked the cabins, but Carnival is Carnival stock. If Carnival got somebody gonna buy it, and we talking about booking, they got something to buy it, they're gonna sell it. What the $25 did was guaranteed you the price. Now the $250 is what guarantees you the cabin. And now they cabins are going so fast they're not afraid that they're gonna lose them. So now you can take the $125 now and secure your cabin.
Oh wow. Okay, I understand.
That's all that means. And there the price did go down. It's $50 cheaper. Its price is going down.
They added the gratuity today too.
Okay, no.
I'm good. I'm gonna be there.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Now, any question you guys have, you can call Felicia. And she's a travel agent. She has all the knowledge. Me and Glenda, we're giving you secondhand when she tell us. All right, the night was a great night. We went through some things. This was a light night in that we talked about staying in relationships and making relationships better. We talked about the tools of communication and authentically communicating. Make sure that it strengthens your relationship and the bond. We also talked about, we didn't get to the part where it said truth night. And truth night, we should have told you about truth night is where you and your partners take one night a week and you sit down and you tell one truth. You tell one truth that you have that your partner don't know or are not aware of. And you say what it is. It may be that, honey, I don't like when you put all that stuff on your face and come to bed, or whatever it is. Or honey, I lost $1,000, or whatever your truth is. Whatever you think, you get to tell it once a week. And when you tell it, you and your partner can work through that.
Yes, honey, I'm voting Democratic.
What now?
What did you say?
Honey, I'm voting Democrat.
Yeah, okay. As long as you're not in a Trump household, you're good. But let's move on. Okay, and then open communicating means that you're sharing your feelings and you're vulnerable. It doesn't matter if it don't matter unless you're being honest and open, and when you give your truth. You have to talk that way. And the more open and honest and more vulnerable you are with your partner, the tighter relationship gets to be. And the components of active listening and authentic communication are honesty, clarity, empathy, non-judgment, being vulnerable, and you have to be patient, and you have to respect, and consistency is the key. These are the things it takes in order to have great communication with your partner. It's been fun. It's been nice. See you all next week.
Good night.
Goodbye, everybody. It was a great night. Glad to have you here. Fire Tablet.
Good
Glad to
night.
have you here, Angela.
Good night.
Glad Mildred.
Good night.
Yeah,
Dr. Johnson,
I enjoyed it.
Fire Tablet. Ramona. Andre. And that's all I can see on my England. I can't see nobody else.
And Annette.
Okay,
Good
and
night.
Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. I think that's all I can see. So good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
Good
night.
night.